August the 9th, 2022. Guys, you're looking at a still shot from a live stream going on down in South Florida at 45's location. Most of you have heard about the raid that went on down there. I just want to put my 2 cents into this, and I'll leave the link. The live stream is called Wyckoff's America, and it's Wyckoff's_America. And you saw him live on the D.C. Mall with the 1776 movement. It's back in Florida now. He's from down there. And you're seeing a massive protest that's going on about the events. And so my 2 cents, and maybe 1 cent at a time, let me say that, is what I think about it, what I see, and what possible media manipulation this is going to become, not from this live streamer, but from mainstream. And so the narrative is this. The next election, a certain side knows they're not going to make it unless something happens to stop it. And they know that 45 has about a 90% chance of going into office. So they have put this up mainstream there. CNN was there to cover it live last night. Okay? They knew this was going to happen. And that's the narrative, that there's a raid there. The president was not there. 45 was not there. And when it happened, the safe was cracked. Nothing was in the safe. A bunch of boxes were taken, things like that, right? So we've got to look beyond the narrative, because we have seen cracks in that narrative with the push of what? From 45. What was he pushing? You all know it, don't have to say it, right? So we see cracks in that narrative. Are we seeing another one now? And how would you say civil war being created? You know that the support, and look at the image, the support of 45 is wide. When you attack someone like that, it's never happened in the U.S., by the way, of a ex-president. But is it desperation by one side to stop the other side from running, or is it a plan from both sides? Listen to me very carefully, don't take me wrong. From both sides to create the chaos. Something we need to pay attention to, simply because you knew who I was when you picked me up. And then start pushing the roll up your sleever. So are we seeing a conflict being started like we've seen over the last decade here in America, in the U.S., to bring one side against the other, to let one side destroy the other? Is that what we're seeing? I'm not sure. But let me say this. If that's not it, sometimes the left side tends to jump very quickly, not think through the entire process, and then has to endure the consequences. And that in itself could be smoke and mirrors. Let me explain. What have we heard for the last year? That DeSantis and 45 would be an excellent pair. And semi-agree. I think that DeSantis would be excellent. The only thing about it is Florida's my second home because of my boating habits, and I would hate for Florida to lose someone like that. You understand what I'm saying, guys? But placed in a national position, he would be very valuable. But we see a lot of times when that happens, another governor comes in, and then things that DeSantis has been trying to stamp out will be allowed to happen again. But that's the small side of the story. The larger side of the story is this. Now, the factor, again, is electoral college votes. And there's a law, guys, and I'd love for someone that's maybe a constitutional attorney or knows more about it than I do to come in and comment on this in the comments below. This is important. California has the highest at 55. Now, you've got here up in New Jersey, 29, Florida, 29. They're tied for third. Texas is second at 38. Now, the law reads, again, I'd love to have some real legal information here, but I think I'm correct, is that if two candidates from the same state are running for president and vice president, they can do it, but they lose that state's electoral college vote. And you know that's what it comes down to in the end, right? So 29 votes. In other words, Florida's tied for third, Texas second, California's first. 29 electoral college votes could destroy the chance of that team getting elected. They would lose it automatically. So that's why you don't see it that much. But with the raid in South Florida, and with 45 having residence in the Northeast, and he owns a major hotel in Vegas that's also probably the penthouse residence, and I think I'm not very far off from there. And all he would have to do is go to another state and register as a voter there. That's his residence. And then that ticket could go forward because he would not be two people from the state of Florida. So if we were looking at it from just looking at the tactics, the chessboard, then we would say the deep state has shot themselves in the foot, because now Trump very well, because in a sense Mar-a-Lago, South Florida, has been tainted. So would it be out of stupidity they did this in an attempt to frame 45, find something against him, regardless of your political affiliation? Just listen to the concept here. Would they be doing it to find something on him, or would they be doing it to start, major unrest? Like you're seeing in the live video I'm going to link you to. It may not be live when you get it. It may be, though. But you'll see. If not, go back and look at what's happening there at the gates. Now, we've got to go back to, you knew I was a snake when you picked me up. Will that happen? Will that force Trump out of Florida and then allow them to run against each other? That's something we don't know yet. It's down the road. But what we've got to watch for more than anything else is both sides are the same side of the coin, any way you flip it. You know, I was a snake. You need to roll up your sleeves. You need to start a civil war because of this raid. That's one side. The other side is deep state extremely screwing up, forcing Trump to move to another state. That way him and DeSantis could run the same ticket. But remember, we're getting a lot of information from mainstream media. But that's why I'm linking you to a live YouTuber that's streaming there. So we've got, it's kind of like a 5D chessboard. We are both sides playing us, one to start a civil war, or is the deep state making the mistake to force Trump to abandon South Florida, move to another state, or is that again the mirrors, the smoke and mirrors, the bread and circus from both sides? We have to think along those lines. I'm not trying to be against anyone or turn anyone against anybody, but I do want you to be aware that the great deceptions of this time are upon us. It's a heads up, guys. Be safe.